November the 1st in America. In India right now, it is November the 2nd, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Legion of Raw. I am the Doctor, Chris Featherstone, and this guy right here is your former WWE champion,
WCW,
Vince.
WCW, WCW.
Oh yeah, did I say WWE? It's all one. It's all one big company now. So he is the holder of the former WCW World Heavyweight Champion.
Yes, that would be me.
Vince, Russo. Yes, indeed.
I cannot wait. Chris, anybody, I'm telling you guys, anybody that watched tonight's Raw and is listening to Sportskeeda right now, I'm telling you guys, you need to go to patreon.com/RussoTWC when I expose my last encounter with Vincent Kennedy McMahon, because you're not going to believe it. I'm just telling you, you're not going to believe it. You watch this show. I am going to share our email exchange.
We're making all kinds of messy.
And you will be shocked. Absolutely shocked. What do you got on the wall over there? What, are you gigging yourself? What's going on over there, man?
I don't even know, man.
What the heck, man?
Some dirt on my bookshelf here, so I'm cleaning it up with hand sanitizer.
Very nice. It's gonna be all sudsy now, bro. You're making a mess over there, doctor.
It'll dry out. It'll be fine. I think, at least. Oh man,
I told you, bro. No, it's drying. It's drying.
It'll dry out. Yeah, it'll dry out. Here we go. It'll dry out. Alive, cleaning the bookshelf set. Yeah, man.
Hey, that's better than anything I saw the last 3 hours, bro. I'll tell you right now.
Look at that.
Look at that. It's better than anything I saw in the last 3 hours, man.
Yeah. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, a little hack with the hand sanitizer. Just like that, ladies and gentlemen. Vince Russo, how are you, man?
I'm all right, man.
Man, it's unfortunate, man. That's good old Raw had to bring your spirits down, man. It seemed like life was good before you watched Raw for 3 hours, man.
It actually was, because I just brought EC3 on the network. I just did a show with them prior to Raw. We had a really good show. We talked a lot about his Free the Narrative stuff. Good show. Mm-hmm. And then it was time for Raw.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. But let's get into it, because we have a good time every week, man. Look, I'm Vince Russo. Being on the show with you adds a whole different level to my Raw watching, and so I'm excited about that every week. But
Chris, I don't mean to keep giving out plugs here, but I got to say this. This is an absolute shoot, Chris.
Yeah.
Chris, I'm going to start. I started today. I'm going to start, breaking down my shows, the shows I wrote during the Attitude Era, hour by hour on Russo's brand. And I watched 45 minutes today. I watched half of a show today. Mm-hmm. Chris, every match, 3 minutes, 3:30, 4 minutes, every single match. I don't think there was a match that went over 4 minutes. Okay, bro. And it was the show right after Pillman passed away. That's where I started, because that's when I really started getting in my groove. 97. That's when I really started again. But every match, bro, 4 minutes, 3.5 minutes, 2:57, every single, just enough. Bro, I don't need to see a 20-minute wrestling match to open up the show and a 30-minute wrestling match to close the show. I mean, my God, bro. My God, please spare me. Spare me.
The ending match people weren't too much into. The beginning match people were into though. I forgot where they were tonight. You remember?
I don't know, bro. Hell. Bro, again, nothing against the girls, but bro, by the time that first match was over, that was 30 minutes of the show. I don't need to see a 30-minute wrestling match. I don't care who's in it. I'm sorry, nothing against these two women. Yeah. 30 minutes, bro. It's too much.
I think that I enjoyed the match. I think that see again, it's the end game to me. It's why you're doing this. And so one thing I didn't like was the fact that it just seems like they decided to put the kibosh on Bianca Belair's push, because Becky Lynch goes from beating Bianca Belair to eventually later on in the show cutting a promo about it, and then Liv Morgan steps in. So Bianca, where does this leave Bianca at?
Bro, I told you, bro. That's you aren't true to your characters. You don't protect. So in other words, I'll tell you where it leaves Bianca. I'll tell you exactly where it leaves her. It's okay to her that she lost. It's time to move on. I lost. Becky Lynch is the better wrestler. It's time for me to move on. I'm not saying that's Bianca. Bianca, that's the way they've written it.
Right.
That's the way they've written it. This ain't her. This is listen, this is a world-class athlete. And Chris, I got to ask you, I'm going to ask you as a black man, because I don't know how you feel. This is a world-class athlete. I love watching the Williams sisters. Bro, love bro, they're animals. They're beasts. The muscular form and the power and strong women. I mean, I could watch them all day long. Then I'm looking at her. You can see she's a world-class athlete in that class. And what do we get, bro? We get the Housewives of Atlanta talk. And I don't know, Chris, does that offend you that it's so stereotypical with the ghetto talk? This is a world-class athlete, bro. There are some times when you need a gimmick. There are some times when you don't. Ken Shamrock did not need a gimmick. Ken Shamrock was the world's most dangerous man, a legit UFC fighter. He wasn't talking with an accent. When you're the real deal, bro, you don't need a gimmick.
Yeah, I think here's my take on that, Vince. I think with Bianca Belair, I think one thing that I've noticed is that, and I'm all about characters. I'm all about building characters, but sometimes there's situations where it's not necessary to go that route, right. And with Bianca Belair, it's not necessary to go the route. And it just seems like even in NXT, like she has like some arrogance to her that was infectious, and she's been dumbed down so much on the main roster. I just don't understand why the main roster writers get their hands on certain people, and it's just such a decrease and a decline and a reduction of their character. And for me, I liked Bianca Belair's promos in the beginning, but I was okay with them, I should say. I didn't necessarily like them, but I was okay with them. Now it just seems too contrived. It just
that's how I feel. That's how I feel when I'm seeing her, and I want to believe this woman is the real deal. I wouldn't to believe that.
I wouldn't say, like, if I was Bianca Belair, I wouldn't say much at all. Her proof is like just dominating people in the ring. And I think that she should be a machine. She should be booked as like a machine. Because she's a track star, super strong. She should be built as a machine, not say much, just plow through people.
Bro, remember Jackie?
Oh yeah,
Jackie legitimately could take men on the roster.
Yeah.
Legitimately, she was a bad, from Texas, and when you saw her body and you saw her fight, you believed it.
She's fiery.
That was the character. That was the gimmick that this woman could legitimately whoop your what.
Yeah, and I think she won the Cruiserweight Championship.
I don't remember, but I would not doubt it because she was legit, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was. And in TNA, she was with America's Most Wanted. Were you there at that time?
I probably, yeah.
Yeah, when James Storm and
God, is she Miss Jackie from Texas, bro?
Oh yeah.
She'll hurt you, man.
Yeah, she was legit, and she was in WCW when she was feuding with when she was like in the midst of the Kevin Sullivan, Chris Benoit, feud going on. Man, she would like when she was in WCW at the time, she would like legitimately like beat people up.
Yeah, man, she was the real deal, man. Yes.
Yeah, it was. I think you're going somewhere there, Vince, as far as just not having to corner Bianca Belair with this gimmick, because like at first the little engine that could type of baby face working her way up, you deserve it. It seems like they've went far away from that, over the past, 7 months since she's won the title. And it's like she's gotten into some middle of the road, like who really are you? What's your, and it's nothing to do with Bianca. She's just
this has nothing to do with bro, how old is she? 24 maybe?
She's like 32 nowadays.
Is she that old? But bro, she's doing what she's being told to do. I'm not putting any blame on Bianca, but like I said, man, I love athletes.
Yep.
And she looks like 32. An athlete, and all this other crap she doesn't need, bro.
She's my favorite women's wrestler period right now, actually.
Yeah.
And I'm really pulling for her. I just really wish that they would just use her. Like, she had the fans were behind her when she won the title at WrestleMania, and for some reason they just
you know what? Here's how I would work with the talent. If I got Bianca Belair, I show up to Raw, and I go to talk to Bianca. Okay, Bianca, here's where we are with Becky in the story. Okay, you've got a match tonight with her on Raw.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say? What would you say? You know your character, you know the situation, you know the storyline and the history. What would you say tonight, and how would you say it?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, especially like, bro, let's talk some of the great entertainment. Bro, let's talk Ali.
Yeah.
Bro, there was a time when Ali would mouth off, and then it was game face, bro.
Yep.
Then it was like the bro, 2 minutes before the fight, look at Ali in that ring. Now game face is on. She's not going to cut that promo at that particular time.
Yep.
She's not, bro. This is a competitor, and she's about to go into the competition. She's not going to cut that promo, bro.
Yeah,
she's not.
I just don't understand the reason why. Like, why would you end this whole thing? This whole thing started at SummerSlam, 26 seconds. You essentially just wipe it all on an episode of Raw, and now Liv Morgan comes. And I like Liv Morgan, but again, like, you had so much meat on the bone still to really stretch this out and work this thing. And you just,
I told you last week, I was smartened up by somebody who knows Vince is literally forgetting week to week.
Wow.
I told you. I mean, bro, come on. That's why you look at things like this and you're like, yeah, bro. Like, did he forget what he did with Bianca Belair 2 months ago?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, like, did you not remember, like, Becky came in at SummerSlam, 26 seconds. You really haven't even, like, really fleshed that out enough. You did the triple threat at Crown Jewel, but they both are on the same week, the same brand. Now you can really flesh this thing out. And instead of just fleshing it out and just having a really, good angle from it, really making Bianca look good, she just falls by the wayside, essentially, what it seems like after this.
And then, bro, you've got this long match. Then when you get to the finish, bro, the referee saw everything.
I was thinking that I had that.
He saw everything.
Yeah. He's like,
It was right in front of
wow.
him. Right.
Yeah.
He saw everything. He saw her pull off the turnbuckle. He saw it all.
Yeah. They should have had the referee that ref the Mysterio and Theory match. He was the one who called the DQ. But this referee here, this one just, I mean, Bianca was going for the finish. Becky pulls off the turnbuckle. The referee sees the whole thing.
Sees her throw it. Sees where it lands.
Right. Sees it land. Sees the push. Sees her hit the the post. I don't understand why they would do that. And then the same Raw have Liv Morgan come in and just step right in. This doesn't make sense to me whatsoever. There's no way that Bianca Belair, out of anybody on the roster, there's no way that Bianca Belair should be the one that goes by the wayside in any roster. Like,
I agree.
She's such an athlete. She's so talented.
I agree.
She is the strongest person on the roster right now.
Yep.
The most athletic. She's just appealing in every sense of the word. You have a bona fide star, a merch seller. It just doesn't make sense that you would say, out of everybody on the roster, let's see. Yeah, Bianca, you're going to have to go to the back of the line.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't understand that. It doesn't make sense at all, man. Next, we have Mysterio's backstage interview. Austin Theory comes in, interrupts it. And this leads to a match. One thing I found weird was they were in the gorilla, and Mysterio turns his back toward his opponent, as it, like, to me that doesn't make sense. Wouldn't Austin Theory try to gain advantage? My opponent has his back turned right in front of me. I'm gonna clock him.
If he's a heel, he would.
Yeah, I mean, that's what heels do. But instead, he decided to take a selfie instead. I mean, this is 2021, Vince. Instead of a heel back in the late 80s, early 90s, if a baby face right in front of a heel turns his back, he is going to get clocked. Now, I'm gonna take a selfie.
Bro, he would have clocked him and dragged him to the ring.
Yes.
And he would have said, ring the bell, ring the bell, ring the bell, ring the bell. Heat, kick out, kick out, kick out, kick out. Yeah. I mean,
yeah. Instead, we get this ref, though. This ref, he calls the DQ. He actually calls the DQ because somehow he was able to glaze over and see the fact that Dominic hit Theory, leads to a DQ. Theory once again outside of the ring, takes more pictures.
Are they working towards heat, but father-son heat here? Is that where they're going with this?
They've been doing that for months, though. Like, it just there's no payoff. It was more intense right before the draft. Goes on SmackDown, like they were almost to blow. They almost came to blows with each other, and now they're starting to gel more, but it seems like they're still trying to work together, but still be. And then when they first came on Raw, they were actually separated, and I don't think, again, Vince, when I'm looking at 3 hours of television, I'm looking at no continuity here. I'm just seeing a bunch of pockets of just clutter. I just don't see any continuity here.
And bro, I swear to God, there was always a rule of thumb back in my day. Here was the rule of thumb, bro. If you want to be a star, well, the first thing you have to do is look like a star.
Sure.
If you want to be a star, you got to, bro. Why is Dominic wearing a hoodie out there? Like he's wearing a hoodie, bro. Bro, you're on television. Has anybody told Dominic he's on television? Bro, you're on prime time television, bro. Look like somebody. You look like a kid wearing a hoodie.
It's he's the son of the great Rey Mysterio, and I actually liked his underdog character when he was feuding with Seth Rollins. I actually liked that because there was a really intense story with that. Yeah. But right now, there's no reason to get behind Dominic Mysterio. And anyway, even if this leads to Dominic just turning heel, like his character is so just. It just seems like it's unsalvageable in a sense, unless they do like their tag team run was okay, it's the father-son deal. It had some poignancy to it, but now it's just why are we here? Why are they there? When I'm looking at these characters on Raw, I'm looking at someone like a Dominic Mysterio and an Austin Theory, and I'm like, what are we doing here? Why do I care?
Bro, the kid looks like a kid. Yeah. That's part of the problem. So now they want him to be a heel. The kid looks like the heel. Bro, do you remember? Like, I don't want to sit here and put myself over, but David Flair looked like a kid. Mm-hmm. The story was that this brash, arrogant New Yorker got a hold of him to get to his old man, and I convinced David that his dad didn't give a crap about him. It was all about him, and I kind of drove David nuts.
Yep.
That's what you need here, bro. Because otherwise he looks like a baby-faced kid who is on the roster because Rey Mysterio is his dad. That's the truth. Yeah. So if you want to get somebody, if you want to get a heel to get in his ear and point out all of Rey Mysterio's flaws, how he left him when he was a kid. You didn't have a relationship with your father till you were 17 years old, bro. Come on. And what do you think? He was just out on the road wrestling? Really, bro? That's what you got to do. Otherwise, you got a baby-face kid that you're now going to make a heel?
Yeah.
Nobody's going to buy that, bro.
No, they're not. Well, people aren't really buying the Austin Theory gimmick. Even now, it's like, and you know what I just realized? Where in the world was Bearcat Lee, Vince?
Where was the Bearcat, bro?
Come on.
Where was the Bearcat, man?
After a riveting promo to build him up for last week, yes, the Bearcat is coming to. He has a match last week, and then 2 weeks after this riveting promo, he's nowhere.
They're not, bro. That tells me they're not the Office, Vince, whoever, Bruce. They're not buying the Bearcat. Okay, well, give him something else next week, guys. Let's go. Yeah, one of them's got to stick, right? One of them's got to stick, bro.
Well, you talked about Vince's forgetful, man. You probably saw him. He was like, "Who's this guy?"
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's terrible, man. What terrible. Next week it's Rollins cuts a promo interrupted by Big E, and then this leads Kevin Owens to come out and say, "Hey, so what about Owens versus Big E?" And now,
bro, I just love last week. Remember last week's Raw? Everybody read their resume.
Yes.
So the whole premise of this promo now was everybody was claiming to be the face. It was the same exact thing, bro. It was the same exact thing. Everybody now was claiming to be. That's why we're fighting, bro. We're fighting because we're grown men, but everybody's claiming to be the face of Raw. And by God, there could only be one face of Raw. That's why we're fighting, bro. Those are the stakes.
Yeah. I don't get it, man. It just What are we doing here, Vince? Hashtag resume raw. We got hashtag face of raw this week. Just the hashtag every week. Next, we had a backstage. Zelina Vega and Carmella. They have a conversation with Nikki Ash and Rhea Ripley over the mask. Vince, all of this over Nikki's mask.
Bro, I was cracking up because now I'm saying, like, are they ribbing themselves? Because Rhea Ripley delivers the line. Did you catch this line, bro? Or are you watching a football game? Did you catch this line?
I was
Rhea Ripley says, "This isn't high school." And I'm like, yeah, it's exactly, that's exactly what this is. I'm like, bro, are they ribbing themselves?
Yeah.
Because everybody at home watching this show is saying, no, bro, it's exactly high school, bro.
Yes, indeed. It is precisely high school. Yes, indeed. So next we have the match. Zelina Vega and Carmella, they beat Nikki Ash and Rhea Ripley. They beat the champions, Vince. And so after Carmella gets booked just very irrelevant, she teams up with the Queen, and now the champions look 50-50.
And meanwhile, when you talk about the champions, bro, the last 3 weeks, all the champions have done is had a 30-minute segment in the back. These are the champions, bro. The champions. 30-second little vignette in the back the last 3 weeks.
And Rhea Ripley has been so diluted, man. Like, she, again, a NXT talent who was super over in NXT, came to the main roster and looks like just a shadow of herself now. She's being booked so poorly on the main roster. It has to stuff like that, man. I'm looking at how it was in NXT and how it is on the main roster. They've got to be upset. I'm sure they're happy that they're making some good money, but at the same time, young people like Ripley, who's like only 25, something like that, 24, 25, 26. It's like, man, you got to think about your future. If you plan on being here for the long haul for another 15 years, you've got to think about the future and say, man, look, we've got to make some decisions now. Tony Khan, and I'm sure a lot of companies would take Rhea Ripley and push her to the moon in a heartbeat. Right now, the WWE is just doing an awful job with her.
And bro, here's the problem too, man. And like this stuff used to matter. None of it matters anymore. Bro, we've got the Nikki Cross Rhea Ripley act with Riddle and Orton.
Yeah.
He's already doing that act. So now you've got the same act twice on the show. It's the same act. Yeah. You would never, ever do that, bro. 10, 20 years ago. Ever. It's the same act, bro.
Yeah, yeah. And the first one is stale now. Like the chase to Orton was the interesting part. Now it's no chase anymore. Now they're just champs, and like Riddle's back to his cheesy, hokey, just irrelevant promos. And you already have a version of that started before Nikki and Rhea.
Yeah.
And then Nikki and Rhea does it as if the first one worked. Like, why? Like, if you're mirroring the first one didn't work. So that's not really a good thing to mirror. It's just dumbing down. And then the ASH gimmick, that was supposed to be just revving the people. You know what's so funny? I remember when she won the Money in the Bank match. I was very surprised of her reaction. Like, she was over. Like, people were cheering her and everything. And I mean, just what a difference, the several months will make, because they, unfortunately, Nikki is one of the most just blandest, just their characters in all of WWE right now.
Bro, is Alexa Bliss on SmackDown?
No, she
So
hasn't been
she's
drafted at
off
all.
the race. She's gonna come back totally repackaged as something else now,
I
right?
can see that. Yeah, I think she was drafted to. I
Uh,
think she was drafted to. I forgot what
I
she was
thought I
drafted.
thought she was staying. I thought she stayed on Raw, but I don't know, man. But
Uh,
what happened to her?
yeah, Bliss is still on Raw. Um, I mean, so this was a month ago. So I mean, still no Bliss. I mean, and Bliss was gone before then. I think she left after the Charlotte thing. There was some reason why she left. I forgot what it was. I forgot
Now
what
I did see, bro. I did see our girl is making a movie.
Eva Marie.
Yes.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
put some stuff out about making a movie, but I'm like, oh, that's great. But I can't wait to see how they try to bring it back for the 7th time now.
Yeah, exactly.
And when the movie's on it's like it's unbelievable, bro. Unreal.
Are you surprised that they gave her the nod to make a movie, to take time off and make a movie? They don't let people get Twitch, but they let people make a movie.
Unless Vince got a payday from allowing her to be in the movie.
Yeah, I can see that. Vince got a cut of that.
Yeah.
Which again, Vince, they're independent contractors.
Yep.
Like I don't understand that, Vince.
I
They're
don't
independent
either, bro.
contractors, so they're allowed. They're contractually allowed. They should be as independent contractors to go out and do stuff, to have projects. That's
Yep.
like if I'm a painter. You know, what I mean, if I'm an independent contractor who's a painter, right? If I own a painting company and I own a bunch and I hire a bunch of independent contractors, I contract them to paint for my projects.
Yep.
What I don't do is say, "Hey, guess what? You can't paint at any other people's house.
Yeah.
You just have to paint for
But
everything
bro,
that I say."
but whose fault is that? If the talent allows Vince to get away with it as
True.
a businessman, Vince should try to get away with as much as he can.
That's true. That's
I
true.
don't blame him with stuff like that.
That's
I
true
do not
because
blame him with stuff like
he
that.
doesn't have to worry about insurance, benefits. Like he doesn't have to worry about anything. As if I'm signing independent contractors, I'm like, okay, well, I'm not giving you benefits. I'm not
Yep.
giving you insurance. Like I'm not giving you any medical. You know, I may give you medical stuff, but I'm not contractually obligated to.
Right.
If someone says okay, and oh, by the way, yeah, you can't tweet about that project that you're doing at the other house. You have to ask me first before you go to the other house. That was always weird to me, you know, from a business.
They allow it, bro. They allow it.
And is it a matter of they're just too scared to just say, "Hey, I'm an independent contractor. I can technically go wherever I want as an
Bro, I'm telling you, there's still the mystique and the idea of being a WWE superstar. Bro, I'm sorry. That has been so tarnished.
Yes.
It is not even it doesn't even mean a fraction
Right.
of what it used to mean, bro.
Yeah,
Bro, come on. We're looking at Hulk Hogan, and then look at who's on this show. And you're going to tell me it's the same thing? Come on, man. Come on.
Not even close. I mean,
not even close, bro. Not even
a
close.
fraction. You said a fraction. That's a compliment, man.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nobody on this entire roster that feels larger than life. Nobody.
Nobody.
And I love Big E, huge Big E fan, but still, nobody on the whole roster on Raw feels larger than life. Nobody.
Yep.
Next, we have Big E backstage, and he talks with the Alpha Academy, and he roasts Otis just live on air. Just roast him, calls him a thumb, talks about his face. Like you have Otis cut his hair and his beard just for him to get roast live on Raw. How is this helping his character, Vince?
He's good, bro. He'll be in the next one whenever the next cuts come. You could tell now who's going to be on the. You could already call the shots now.
And now Chad Gable's he's the one doing the matches now, and it just doesn't make sense of like I just don't understand the logic behind it, Vince.
And
Okay,
one person is gonna believe that Chad Gable is gonna be Finn Balor. One person's gonna believe that.
zero,
Zero,
absolutely zero.
bro,
Yeah.
zero.
And Finn came out just looking like a regular guy. Like his entrance there was anything exciting about. Everything just looked just mediocre today. Like it was just a mediocre Raw. Like nobody really stood out. I mean, they're trying to do Big E at the end, but
Bro,
it's so mediocre.
this is the second week with the new roster, and we're
Yeah.
already tired of it, bro.
Yep,
The
that's true.
second week.
True. Yeah, that's true. Nobody feels. I mean, because Kevin Owens, Big E, and Seth Rollins, they all came from SmackDown. So they're just three people just flipping brands. There's nothing new about that. They're just on Mondays instead of Fridays now. There's nothing new and fresh about it. Granted, I mean, Seth Rollins has been feuding with Edge for months, but at the same time, it's like, okay, yeah, so Kevin Owens is just kind of in this middle ground right now where people don't know what he's going to do. But we'll talk about at the end. We might it might be some type of heel turn that we might be seeing from Owens. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Vince, ready? Listen, I've got something for you, and I've got something for the SK Nation. Okay.
Yeah, let's see it.
Ah, Joey.
Time out! Time out! Time out, Joey! Time out, Joey!
Veer Mahan is coming to Raw, ladies and gentlemen.
Wait, who's coming to Raw now? Did I miss this?
Yeah, man, the promo. He did there was a vignette for Veer.
Oh,
and now his
no.
name is Veer Mahan.
Oh my God, bro! They're so lost, bro. Listen, somebody has to say it, bro. Vince, you need to retire.
Yeah.
You need to retire. You are killing this company, everybody in the company. You are killing the viewers at home. You are killing everything, bro. Nick Khan does not need Vince McMahon there to make all that money.
That's true.
Nick Khan can make he knows the goods. Nick Khan knows what's in the shed. He knows what he could sell.
Yeah.
Vince is killing this thing. I promise everybody out there, listen, if you listen to russosbrand.com, I promise you, I will not be podcasting at 76. You have my word. I will know it's time to hand over the bulldog to the younger podcasters, and I will not be Vince, retire. Retire. You're killing everything, bro. I'm sorry. Wait till you hear the email exchange.
Yeah. So you're 60, so that means I get to enjoy the next 15 years.
Yes.
Not
I retire when I'm 75
yes.
and not 76, bro. Yes.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I think if, listen, to me, again, I'm a psychology doctor, so you could have a sharp mind at 76. But Vince for the past 50 years, he's been just driving himself up the wall. And
bro, let's not mention how many times he got a chair wrapped over his head.
True.
Let's not mention that, bro. This isn't a normal 76-year-old man. This is a guy that took chair shots with the best of them, bro.
That's true.
Yes.
True. I haven't read any or looked at any diagrams of his brain, but they would never tell a soul, bro. Oh, they wouldn't. That's true. Yeah, but based on the Vince pulling audibles and just his from what I've heard, just his fluctuation of nice one day and just a tyrant the next. Stuff like that is very, very par for the course for CTE. And again, I don't know, because I don't know. I haven't diagnosed him. I haven't talked to him or looked at any of his stuff. But I mean, I'm a psychology doctor. I've written many. I've done much studies and written many papers on CTE. Actually, years ago, I wrote a major project about CTE, about Chris Benoit. And so I got to find it somewhere. I might make it like a peer-reviewed article or something, or make it in book form. I got to find it somewhere. But it was a pretty lengthy paper that I wrote about CTE, and I wrote about Chris Benoit.
Yeah.
It was lengthy, so I got to find it somewhere, and I'll probably release it to the public. But yeah, I mean, like I know about this stuff. I mean, like and stuff like that is just you can't mess around with that stuff, because especially at 76 years old, you're mentally you're already deteriorating. You know what I mean? And so just as far as possible onsets for dementia and Alzheimer's and things like that. When your brain has been utilized in the way that he is, Alzheimer's and dementia, the onset of that is heavily caused by stress. And so, I mean, Vince McMahon working in his type of field, I mean, he looks like it. I mean, like in a matter of a few years, he went from genetic jackhammer looking great to, man, he looks like a shell of himself now. You know what I mean? And so it's tough. It's tough to see that.
It is.
It
Very
really
tough.
is tough to see
Very
that with
tough.
Vince McMahon. But I mean, if his time, he's got so much pride though, Vince, that I mean, I can see Vince McMahon dying in Gorilla, man.
Oh
just,
yeah, no,
I can see it.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, no
But here's
doubt,
a-
no
but
doubt about it.
here's my critique though. If he has that much pride about the business that he'll die in Gorilla, why is he not? Why is he that? Why doesn't he have the juggernaut, the genetic juggernaut, the genetic jackhammer, the testicular fortitude? Why doesn't he have the sense of pride to see an industry, a business that he basically made on a national scale? Vince Senior, I mean, they were doing, armories, you know what I mean, in New York. And it went from just armories and little towns and just little shows and armories. He was the one who made the WWE a national and eventually an international recognized product. And to see his growth in the early 80s, taking the risk to go WrestleMania. I mean, there's been so many interviews throughout the years that his whole company was really predicated on the success of WrestleMania in 1985. To go from that to 35 years later, 36 years later, to see your numbers falling below a 2.0, I mean, like, where's the pride in this, Vince? Like, you've worked with them. Where's the pride in building a company from armories,
Bro,
to
I'm gonna tell you something.
international?
I'm gonna tell you something. I got a good glimpse. Okay. Bro, I am not convinced that he thinks this stuff is bad.
Wow.
I'm not. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. I am telling, and you will understand. When I talk about it,
Yeah.
and then I can come. I could open. Freely talk about it. But I don't think he thinks it's bad.
Wow. So, okay. So, again, with that, let's go back to Attitude Era. All right. If Vince McMahon 22, 3, 4 years ago, if he saw a dip in the ratings, now, granted, I understand that there's more. There's more factors in it now. Digital media is really their thing. That's their thing, right? And the network, deals and things like that. But still, even with that, because they were, they had a network deal with USA back then. So if Vince McMahon saw a dip in the ratings, how would Vince McMahon react? Does Vince McMahon, two things? One, did Vince McMahon look at the ratings? Was he that intricate in the process that he would look at the ratings and react accordingly? And if the answer is yes, which I imagine it was, how would he react if he saw a dip in the ratings, especially during the Monday Night Wars?
Well, bro, that's what happened, and I really I lost a lot of respect for him when this happened. When WCW started kicking our backside, all of a sudden Vince became the victim. And he played the role of the victim, and about Ted Turner opening up the checkbook and buying all these guys, and he was you can't get anybody else. And I would watch him, and I was like, bro, did you not put every territory out of? You did the same exact thing, bro, that is being done to you now. You're not the victim. You were guilty of the same exact
Black Saturday.
But that's what he tried to play off as the victim. Poor me, the baby face. No, bro, you put dozens of people out of business doing this.
Absolutely. What's so funny, Vince? If I had more time, which I don't have any, if I had more time, I actually considered before doing like a diagnosis of different talent and different people on in the professional wrestling business based on interviews and just their characters and what people say about them. I was actually thinking about expanding my YouTube page to do that, but I just don't have the time to do it. Like, here's the thing. Again, I diagnose people every day. I haven't talked to Vince McMahon to make a clear diagnosis. So this isn't a diagnosis of Vince McMahon. This is just saying that Vince McMahon does have, from a diagnosis standpoint, Vince McMahon has very, very glaring signs of narcissism. And I can definitely see that based on what you're saying.
Yeah, bro. Yes. And it's still there. 1,000%.
Really? Still there? Huh?
1,000%, bro.
Wow, man. Yikes. Yep. Next we have Finn Balor defeating Chad Gable. Oh, we talked about that. But I tell you what, though. The Veer Mahan. Veer's going to be your new guy.
Wait, so this is Jinder's guy, Veer. Okay, yeah. Is Veer the big? No, Shanky's the big one.
Shanky's the big one.
Okay,
yeah. Veer's the smaller one. Yeah, so he's by himself on Raw, and they're giving him a promo, and they're giving him a vignette. But guess what, though? That's became the kiss of death, though. Because they gave Karrion Kross a vignette.
Where's Karrion Kross?
He's gone. Well, they gave Karrion Kross a vignette. He's nowhere to be found. They gave Elias a vignette. He's nowhere to be found.
Yep.
They gave Bearcat a vignette. He's nowhere to be found this week. And now they're giving Veer vignettes.
Think of all that wasted money. Like just wasted. Unbelievable, bro. It's comical.
That's so true, man.
It's comical. It's comical.
It's really a kiss of death. The vignettes, like if I hear that from Pritchard, like if I'm Veer and they're like, yeah, we're going to give you a vignette. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, and it's unfortunate, man. And you're right. They're spending that much money on 4 vignettes. Yep. At least 3 of them has been ineffective. Cross, Elias, Bearcat, nothing. Nothing. So very, very interesting, very sad. Matt Riddle backstage talks to the Dirty Dogs. The Dirty Dogs beats the Street Profits. And so not only Bianca looks bad this today, but the Street Profits look bad on this show too. The whole family looks bad. Omos comes out and makes them even look worse. because he comes and attacks them, then he attacks Riddle, and then Randy Orton's upset about that. And
Well, but bro, like here, like this was like, bro, Randy Orton's going, let's go, let's go, let's go. And they cut to a T-Bar and Priest package.
yeah,
What, like, I swear, I was like, I had to rewind it because I'm like, did I miss Randy Orton is saying, let's go, let's go. They leave the arena and go to a package?
yeah, just horrible, absolutely horrible. Again, if I'm these shows are totally for homers, and you can't even appease homers. I mean, that like you're seeing a decline in ratings, and so the homers are not even being interested at this point. That goes to show again, where is your pride at, Vince McMahon? Like the goal back in the day during the Monday Night Wars were to attract casual fans as much as possible. All right.
Yep.
Now it's keeping fans. Like it's just keeping people there. And they can't even do that. Like they're seeing a decline in ratings, and so that you can't even keep fans there. And so yeah, it's very difficult to see how unwatchable Raw has become over the past. I would even say you started back watching Raw about 7 years ago or so.
Yeah, I've watched every episode, bro.
Yeah. In this 7 years, were there any point that you said, okay, well, this year or this pocket of time where it wasn't that bad?
No, never.
In 7
No,
years.
I'm telling you, bro. No, not at all. Nope.
I'm really trying to think about when the last time Raw was fun to watch on a consistent basis past a month. Really past like 2 weeks. I mean, you have certain shows, you have certain episodes of Raw that's not too bad. You know, we've talked about, we've put some Raw shows over, not many, but and what over a year that we've been doing this together, maybe 2 or so. But just from a consistent basis, it's the same B-roll, it's the same, you know, what else do we call it? B-roll Raw. The chat, y'all know what it is. Y'all know what do we call the Raw, the different types of Raws? I know one was B-roll, and I know we it was a bunch of different ones. A house show, Raw, that was another one. And so yeah, it feels like that every week. Speaking of that, we get a Damian Priest defeating T-Bar in a gimmick match this time. It was not only was last week we saw the dark side. We saw a darker side of Damian Priest is what they were really trying to press here. But this time we saw a dark side of, don't take me to the dark side. And that's what Priest did. He took him to the dark side, and all of a sudden Apollo Crews comes out at the end. And so somehow he's going to be inserted. Now he's going to be the guy who's going to compete against Damian Priest for the U.S. Championship. And they've really made Apollo Crews look like absolute nobody.
And then, bro, in this match with bro, you know, like it's got Vince McMahon's name written all over it. Bro, what was with the funny faces? He's making funny face, like nobody does that. Nobody does that, bro.
Yeah.
Nobody.
SK Nation, let us know what year was the last batch of good, consistent Raw shows. Let me know.
I could honestly tell you, in the last 7 years, I don't think there were back-to-back good Raws. Maybe one here, one there, spots, bro, back-to-back.
Yeah. Let us know. What was the last year that it was just consistent good Raws? I'm seeing one person say 2001, 2011, 2010. Keep them coming. What years? 2003. Let's see one. Next we have
Bro, I swear the only thing I remember looking forward to the last 7 years, I swear to God, that used to pop me that I look forward to were the early Firefly fun houses, the early ones. You wanted to see what Bray was going to do. And you knew it was him. You knew Vince wasn't writing that crap. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was the last thing that I used to look forward to seeing.
Yeah. Yeah. The last thing I really that really comes to mind for me was when Sting came back, and I actually liked his build up with Triple H.
Yeah.
That was back in that was in 14. I was actually in. He came in SummerSlam. He came debuted a Survivor Series of 14, and so wait, he debuted Survivor Series of 14. WrestleMania third in California 31 is when he had his match against Triple H. So that was 6 years ago.
Yeah,
So
bro. One of the best things on the show for a while I remember was Sandow doing the Miz. That was tremendous. That was absolutely tremendous.
That was fun. That was fun. I enjoyed
that was all him.
Yeah. It was. Yeah, I interviewed him a few weeks ago. Actually,
yeah, that was all him, bro, doing that stuff.
Yeah, I loved that. I loved Mizdow. That was hilarious.
But
there was no payoff though. There was
no payoff whatsoever.
It should have been though. It should have been. That was organically super duper over. He was so funny, and he even said like when I talked to him a few weeks ago, he even talked about like he was just like, hey, like he decided to pull an audible and just make it work.
Yeah.
And Vince was like, all right, like he had to swallow his pride and say, you were right, it's working, you know what I mean? But he said he was willing to risk his job because like he was just originally just said, hey, you're just gonna be his lackey, you know what I mean? He's like, okay, well, all right. if I'm gonna be his lackey, I'm gonna be sure that people are gonna know about
that was entertaining, man. That was
very
good
entertaining.
stuff.
I agree. Yeah. Next we have the 24/7 segment, and Reggie saying that he's had the title for 100 days, Vince.
Wow.
Definitely not we're so used to the 24/7 championship getting changed every 5 minutes or less, but it's been 100 days.
Wow.
Other answers: late 2007, beginning 2008, 2010, 2001.
Yeah, I'm going back. I said 7 years is 2014. I've not heard anybody say anything after that.
No, nothing. No, consistently. I think the latest I had was 11. That was 10 years ago. So, next we have Becky Lynch cutting a backstage promo. This leaves Liv Morgan to just have a face on.
Bro, I swear to you, Doctor, go back and watch this. I'm telling you, Becky was reading cue cards.
Really?
I'm telling you, bro. I am telling you, she was reading. She was looking out in no man's land. And I'm like, and I'm watching this, and I'm like, she's reading freaking cue cards.
Wow.
I'm telling you, go back and watch. Tell me what you think.
Oh man.
Yep.
No, I'll take your word for it. I don't. I'm not going to go back and watch Raw in any capacity.
I don't blame you, man.
Just take your word for it. Big E defeating Kevin Owens at the end, and you know what? I thought that he was going to turn. Someone said it's 100% ratings. He looked up and squinted 4 or 5 times.
Yes, I'm telling you, bro. Thank you. Thank you.
Yep.
Bro, before you get to the heel turn gimmick, what was that not the weakest finish you ever saw? A guy as big as Kevin Owens, he's flaunting his feet like, bro, I think I could have kicked out of that. I could not believe like it was so weak.
And he has the body weight to just turnover.
Right. That's it. Just turn over, bro. Like really, and he was doing this gimmick, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God, bro.
Someone said 2014 makes sense because it was the last year of the Shield. Okay. I mean, the Shield was there was some interest there. You know what though, Vince? I think they attempted to push Ryback for a hot second, and he actually was getting over when he was feuding with Punk.
Yeah.
That's when they had
That was before 2014.
Yeah, I think that was like 2013.
Yeah, because I didn't see any of that.
They had oh gosh, I forgot the guy's name. I interviewed him too. He was a referee and he ended up being like GM for a while. Good looking guy.
Rodriguez?
No. He was assisting Vicky for a while. Chat room, SK Nation, let me know. Y'all know what his name starts with a B. Braxton or Brad Maddox. Thank you.
Okay,
yeah. Thank y'all. Yeah, he was there. Okay, yeah, Brad Maddox. He was like a rogue referee, ended up being like a heel type of authority figure or something like that. But it was a Hell in a Cell match that Maddox was a referee with him and Punk, I believe. And they pulled. It was a bad call because I think they should have pulled the plug on. They should have pulled it on Ryback. Not pulled the plug on. They should have kind of started the engine for Ryback. They had him lose against Punk though. They should have had him win because I think that would have really helped Ryback's career. But they just never decided to. From your time watching Ryback, what did you think? What was there an intangible about Ryback that you think Vince McMahon didn't click with? Because
it literally, it pretty much was the same booking of Strowman.
Yeah.
You know, bro, when you've got a guy like a Ryback and when you got a guy like a Strowman, you've got to see the other side.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't just be this beast monster all the time. You've got to see another side to make that character three-dimensional.
Yeah.
Bro, I mean, come on, bro. We went through the Strowman things, turning over trucks, throwing a porta potty off the stage, turning over this, turning over. No, bro, there's got to be more substance than that.
Agreed.
Bro, do you remember the scene, man, in the Attitude Era when Austin saved Stephanie from the Undertaker?
Yeah.
That was to show.
Yeah.
This was a three-dimensional. As much as he hated Vince McMahon, even Austin couldn't let this innocent girl, because believe it or not, Stephanie was an innocent girl. But that made him a real person.
Yeah. That's the stuff that happens when you actually write storylines.
Right,
we write episodic television. That's what happens.
Yeah.
So Kevin Owens loses the match. Rollins helped, along the way. And here's the crazy thing about this. Kevin Owens kept saying, "I'm sorry. It wasn't me. I'm sorry." Throwing the B word out there, and as if that's going to be a wow factor. Ooh, like, oh man, now I'm really interested. And so now he's challenging Rollins to a match next week. He keeps telling Big E, "I'm sorry," just out of the blue. It wasn't me. I'm sorry. And then babyface Big E just decided to put him in his finisher. Like, why do they book these characters to be so dumb? Like, oh, I didn't know. Like, yeah, it had to be you. It was you that won that caused. Why did he put him in the finish again? Like, what was he upset about Kevin?
I guess, let's see. Rollins slapped Big E and Owens didn't see it. And I guess Big E thought that Owens saw it.
Episodic television, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we get to. This is what we get to close the show. This is the cliffhanger that we're going to get to close the show.
It's just, bro, these things play out like they would never play out in real life.
Right.
That's Owens wouldn't say, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
The prize fighter would say
he would say, bro, let me tell you what happened. He would say, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry, bro. Okay. Big E would turn his back, and Owens would say, F you then. And then he'd hit him with the finish. That's what men would do. Kevin Owens is not going to I'm sorry. He must have said it 5 times. I'm sorry. No, it's not going to go down like that. And bro, here's another thing too. Like, bro, how long has Rollins been on the roster?
2012 is when the Shield debuted.
2012.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw all that time when he was with Hunter and the Monday Night Messiah and like all these transformations. And it's like, okay, bro, like now I'm supposed to believe you're the Joker. Like, where did this guy like come out? You know what I'm saying, bro? Yeah. Like when I see Batman 66, like Cesar Romero was always the Joker. Mm-hmm. He was always the Joker. Now, all of a sudden, I've seen all these different phases of Seth Rollins. I've seen the Legend Killer, the Architect, the Monday Night Messiah. I've seen them all, but now he's the Joker, dressing like a clown. Did I miss an explanation along the way?
No, you didn't. It's just a bunch of different incarnations. And when I think about that stuff, I'm thinking like, okay, so your character has to be super, super strong for you to pull off just evolutions like that. We saw that with 2 of the biggest names in pro wrestling history, Sting and The Undertaker. Like those are the ones who just nuances and just, they did ABA Taker, back in 2000. Which was a whole totally different like variation of The Undertaker, but he went back to the dead man. Sting, again, and went from Surfer Sting to kind of like the NWO, like,
But there were stories behind all that, bro.
Yeah, that's my point.
There were clear-cut stories behind that stuff.
And that's what I'm saying. Both of them worked because their characters were so strong. And they were still a version of themselves in a different way that fit the story. And so, but with Seth Rollins, that doesn't even apply. Like 1 week he'll just pull up here, then he'll get the draft, the brand split happens, and he's a different something. And then this week he leaves and he comes back after being a father, and now he's embraced the vision and a whole bunch of different. Like it's just okay. Where's the story? Like, why am I spending so much time trying to figure out who you are this week? Like, why am I trying to figure that out? You should give that to me.
Bro, it's literally like, think about this, bro, usually like successful sitcoms go like 9 years. A lot of great sitcoms, like after the 9th year, they stop. But bro, look at any sitcom over 9 years. Bro, I wasn't a Friends guy. But look at Friends over 9 years. It would have been like one of the Friends just kept drastically every season having character changes. Yeah. And you're sitting at home saying, wait, did something happen during the reruns? Right. Like, did something like that should not happen. Yeah, these characters should be consistent, and if there is a change, there needs to be a reason. Bro, I wrote Joker Sting, but something set him off. Something drove him over the edge. Yeah. I don't know why freaking Rollins is laughing at everything. I don't know why.
Again, this is the reason why they need to develop characters and they need to have storylines. Otherwise, there's people who are going to make changes in characters unannounced and no one knows. And that doesn't help the consistency of his career. Like if he's like a whole bunch of different characters, like that would be the same thing as like 1 year Ric Flair's the Nature Boy. and then the next year Ric Flair's Jungle Boy, and then this year, he's Moon Boy, and this one he's Sun Boy. Like
Right.
that wouldn't help Ric Flair.
Bro, Rollins got introduced as the Shield, right?
Yeah.
That's where, okay, look at that character when he first started to this. Like, how is that even possible? How is that transformation even possible?
Yeah. And it's all over the place, man.
He's doing that stuff, bro, to pop himself and to pop the boys in the back. That's why he's doing it. Okay, bro, you're popping everybody, but you got an audience sitting at home that's absolutely lost.
Yeah, lost. Yeah, and exactly. I mean, if the writing's for the audience, why am I spending so much time trying to figure out who this guy is? And that's the problem, Vince. Why am I spending so much time trying to figure out who most of these people are? Like, that's not my job as the viewer to try to get lost and confused figuring out who people are.
Bro, look at Becky when she was cutting the bloody promo when Nia Jax busted her open. Look at that Becky, and look at Elton John Becky tonight.
Yeah.
How did we go from A to Z, bro?
True.
Now she's wearing Elton John glasses and all these bright clothes, and she's half comedian, half wrestler. No, bro, you were the tough chick from Ireland who got her face busted. Yep. How did you become Elton John?
Yeah. And they're trying to heal her up, but it's just, I mean, like, again,
it's forced. It's forced.
It feels forced. Yeah.
It's all forced, bro.
And if, like, she needs to really watch some tape, because, like, she needs to work on her healing. Like, she really does need to work on healing it up, because, again, if I was a heel, if I was in Becky's shoes, I would hate to be cheered. Like, if I would pay it forward. Like, at this point, Becky's the champ. She's done so much for the company. Like, she should be paying it forward. And again, before we close, Vince, here's my last thing to you. As far as wrestlers, like, paying it forward and intentionally wanting to make other stars, rising stars, over. Like, what was your experience in that in the Attitude Era? Because it really does, with all this cat fighting, as far as, like, I'm not going to hand you the belt because I don't want to look weak, and a whole bunch of just politicking and stuff like that. We don't see that much anymore. What was the concept of really wrestlers paying it forward and essentially, like they say, like, helping, like, watching the lights and helping people get over?
Bro, they just, I saw something today. That you'll never ever see, and it's kind of what you just said about Becky healing. You'll never see this, bro. Okay, it was the click was Shawn, Hunter, and China.
Okay,
and on the stage you got they're on the stage you got the Hart Foundation.
Oh, okay.
And bro, they're going, bro. The stuff they were saying. I don't know how it's on Peacock. I mean, I don't know how it's on Peacock. I mean, Brett flat out called Shawn the F word, flat out.
Wow.
And bro, but here's what you'll never see. So, the Hart Foundation in the States, they're heels.
Yeah.
Okay. Shawn just beat Taker, and the Click aren't really heels or baby faces. They're just a-holes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Just Shawn's being an absolute a-hole, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Brett makes the comment calling Shawn the F word. Okay. And bro, the place popped. Okay. And Brett turns around and says, "Don't give me your cheers. I don't want them. You can keep." That wouldn't happen today. Yeah. But Brett knows in his mind, I am a heel.
Yes.
And I'm gonna make a derogatory comment that this Jay, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not here to get cheers.
Yeah.
So the minute they cheer for me, I'm gonna stay in character and say you can keep. That would not happen today, bro.
Yes.
They wouldn't understand that.
Yes. Instead, you'll do a cool move like a babyface does, and then you react to the crowd like, "Come on," what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm like,
Yeah.
why do
Yep.
heels do that
Yep.
nowadays? Why am I booing you if you're impressive in the ring and you're looking to elicit a reaction from me? Why am I booing you? What is it? What is there to boo? It
I'm
just
telling you,
doesn't
bro. And
make
that's
any
the
sense.
stuff bro, sometimes I really believe like that's you know this better than anybody. It's what you do for a living. That's the psychology of the business. Bro, I bet you there is maybe 25% of all wrestlers today that really understand that.
That's a
I
good
bet
point.
you 25% of them. Whereas back in the day, they all
Yeah,
they
it
all
was
knew
at least
psychology.
flips.
Bro.
Yeah, at least. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what I do understand is this guy right here has got some big things going on in the channel attitude. Let the listeners know.
Yeah, guys, real quick. I usually don't like to plug a lot, but we got 4 new shows that are just starting in November, man. Just started today on russosbrand.com. We got Lions, Tigers, Bears, and Head. Al Snow's replacing Disco for a while. I'm also going to break down the Attitude Era hour by hour, bro. I'm going to review the show. I went back today. I watched my first one. Oh my gosh, it's night and day. I mean, Chris, it's night and day. Over on patreon.com/Russo TWC, I'm going to have the Vince versus Vince series. I'm going to really pick that apart, and I'm going to tell you what happened at the very end, and I think it's going to open up the eyes of a lot of people. And we also have a brand new show with EC3. And with Patreon, you really want to join up early in the month, bro, because they bill you the beginning of every month.
Gotcha. Good stuff. RussoBrand.com/TWC. Ladies and gentlemen, he's Vince Russo. I'm Dr. Chris Featherstone representing Veer Mahan. And this is the
Bro, they couldn't do anything with gender, but they're gonna do something with Veer Mahan.
Yeah.
Okay,
You might
all
as well
right.
just
Can't
call him
wait.
Veer McMahon.
Yes,
You might as well
yes.
just call him Veer McMahon.
Yeah.
I would have popped for that. If they would have called him Veer McMahon, it would have done some type of Vince gimmick or something like that. That would have made me pop more than just this kiss of death vignettes that they're giving people.
Bro, I talked to me and Stevie Richards and Ben Hameen. We review all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
And we talk about this all the time. Bro, can you imagine if you had the Vince senile dementia character just walking in and out of scenes like the entire bro, how great would that be? You got a 76-year-old man still running the show who's a former shell of himself, but you're seeing it and people are like looking at him like, bro, how great would that be?
I'd be in. I'd be in. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is the Legion of Raw. Hope you guys had a good time. We do as always. So long.